have something really neat to show you guys, and I'm not sure if I can do this live. So I'm gonna walk around a little bit. I'm not sure about the reception for my cell phone because I'm just using cell tower. And I intended on showing you something. I'm gonna show you a piece of real estate today, a special one. Look at this place. Look at this place. This is a beautiful home. Just over 2 acres. All finished with cedar siding, big decks, beautiful grounds. It's a beautiful place. Here's why I'm here. Look, it's for sale. It's for sale. $875,000. This is what this home is asking right now. And it really is a beautiful property. And I'm going to kind of set it up and talk for a second because I'm showing it today to a buyer who is an Alaska Airlines captain. Isn't that a beautiful home? Isn't that pretty? And it's on an airport. Hey, Scott, how are you? It's on an airport. And there's categories within our economy that are stronger than others. And aviation right now is very strong. And they can get rocked just as easily. They just expanded their contracts. Airline pilots are making more. They received raises, basically equivalent to the annual salary of the flight attendants, those that are managing the back of the plane. So to give you an idea, there's a lot of authority within the pilots, the ones that have really dug in and spent a lot of years sitting in a cockpit, not moving, flying you from point A to point B and taking a lot of stress on their shoulders. So there is a measure that they deserve more than their fair share. And even the aviation industry can be rocked. It can be rocked. This is why we prepare and be good stewards with the resources that we have. This is a great time for pilots. A lot of pilots are retiring. They're realizing that they require to set themselves up for the next foreseeable future. So many of them are making moves right now, and that's kind of a prepper mindset. To make moves now, that if I make them now, it's gonna be a little uncomfortable, yet it's gonna make everything else easier in the future. So if paying a little bit more money is one thing, yet it saves something for you, people are making these decisions right now. Another thing that I desired to touch on is all of the folks that are leveraging their home and refinancing their homes for foolish pleasures. And I know the Ninja has pounded on this multiple times. Not to do that, not to foolishly refinance your home and live on all the equity and just blow it on crazy stuff. We know that a fool only does that right now. That isn't what your home should be used for. Yet there's this other group, and this group that knows that they've gained a lot. They're stuck in their home. They have a low interest rate. Their monthly payment is manageable as they weather this inflationary period. Yet they're refinancing their home for the what if. Some of them are like, I'm really on the line of losing my job. If sales go down anymore, I'm done. I'm done. And they're refinancing their home while they have time, while banks are still allowing you to squeak through, and they're holding on to that cash. So they know if they lose that home, because that tidal wave of home loss, this is where I'm at today. They're getting ready to fly in. So if I stop, you'll know my peeps are flying in, and we'll watch them land. Would you guys like that? That's one end of the runway, right? Let's see here. There's the other end of the runway. I don't even know if I know there's a couple of you on right now. How's the reception? Are you able to hear okay? Somebody comment, because I intend on finishing what I was saying regarding the lending. I don't know, where are you supposed to have? You're supposed to have the sun at your back. Isn't this pretty? It's very peaceful. Okay, good. It says it's good. Simply just going back to the lending portion where there's this group that's pulling money out for survival. And I think the smart ones that have been thinking about it for a while and have been listening to channels like ours, and I bet you there's a huge group inside of the Ninja Nation that understand this and have had to refinance their homes, and they know now's the time. They're stocking up a little bit because we may not have access to our homes. May not have access. So that being said, there's another group. I'm kind of part of that too. So just so you guys know, this channel is still infant. This is just us cutting our teeth together. Yet I come from the same group of thinkers as you do. Come from the same group of thinkers. There's nothing different between us on this channel. We are just an extension of what the ninjas kind of started. And you look at, I wouldn't say kind of started, this group that is following people like us. So when we talk, I know many of you think like we do. Continue to prepare for yourself. This is truly serious. We don't have much time, and I don't desire to say that it's going to happen next month or next week, you know, or even in the next year. Here's what we do know. It is your responsibility to provide and protect for your family right now. 100%. I'm not saying to go into debt, and to look at your life right now. Look at your life right now. Do you see things writing on the wall that you should be making steps towards now? Just asking. Not everybody is in the right time to be buying and invested in real estate or silver and gold, yet they understand why those things are valuable. That's us. That's us. We understand. We're making moves. Let me see. Look to the sky. Today would be, look how beautiful. Isn't that pretty? This is the Pacific Northwest. Is it that blue on your computer screen? It's gorgeous. Not a cloud in the sky. It's peaceful. It's peaceful. Those that get to live on airports, it's a whole nother group of individuals. They're kind of quiet. They're engineer minds. A lot of pilots, they think in checklists. Canned silver. Yes, that's right, Jeff. You got to eat on canned silver. Yeah, and pilots think a little bit different. We think a little bit like pilots. We're starting to reteach ourselves how to think a little bit by pilots. We know that every time a pilot goes to take off or to land, they follow a checklist. The same one every time. Does not change. The only way it would change is if they're in a different type of airplane and they would be qualified on that airplane before they were even allowed to use a checklist that it's the same every single time. A prepper is a lot like a pilot. We are very much committed to understanding what things should I have to do over and over and over again that offer protection for our household, for us. You know that this channel is not, 17 ways to do XYZ, 3 ways to invest in this. I usually throw out the number one prep, and it's connected to our spiritual preparedness. And preppers are like pilots. We enjoy checklists. We enjoy being encouraged. Do I hear an airplane? Maybe I don't. What time is it? My time's on my phone, and if I press it, here, somebody put up what time it is real quick. Let's see where they're at. They said they'd be flying in right around 1 o'clock. Just a servant of the Lord in the desert. Hey, PNW, I got a sister there. Hey, where's your Bundle Key? Where's your sister live? We're in the Pacific Northwest. We're sitting in beautiful Pierce County. This is Pierce County, Washington. Let's give you a new area. Can I show you guys some mature, beautiful trees? And you got to know something why cedar trees, as beautiful as they are, you're going to see something on here. All right, 105. They should be here in the next 5 minutes. Let's see if we can hang out. Should we hang out until they land? You want to see them land? See these cedar trees? Look at this. Look at that monster. Look at that monster. There's another one there. These are really mature cedar trees. They're mature cedar trees. I'm going to tell you something about cedar trees. Yeah, we're going to stay on until they arrive. I used to own an airport, or an airport, a restaurant. Check this out. Can you see that weird looking arm in there? Can you see that? Looks like the tree arm jacks out and then goes up again and starts a new tree. Cedar trees do weird stuff. That's called sinuosity. There was some damage that happened to that particular branch and it created another tree. So it creates two trees on one. That's what you learned for the day, sinuosity. We'll see if my wife's gonna be here. Cedar trees, back to what I was saying regarding cedar trees. Look at this monster. Look at that thing, beautiful, well-kept, healthy cedar trees and have lived a long time and their leaves are starting to brown. Look at this, look at this. It's been so dry and these take tens of gallons a day, maybe, I mean, dare I say 50 to 100 gallons a day per tree, water. Maybe it's less than that, correct me if I'm wrong. All I know is that I know they take a lot. Yeah, my voice is a little scratchy. I hadn't been feeling well for too long, and I'm feeling better, yet my voice is still recovering. And you know what? I spotted the sellers. They've camped out across the runway to watch. They want to see the pilots come in. Hey, if you're a seller or going to be selling a home, be sneaky. Don't judge your buyers, yet pay attention to who's coming and going in your homes right now. I've never experienced any theft or anything like that in homes before. I take that back. It happened one time. It happened one time actually on one of my family properties. I shouldn't say I've never experienced it. They totally broke in, tried to remove the stove. They ended up dragging it out into the garage to come steal it later, and we caught it. Idiots. Watch your homes if they're vacant. Keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on them. I was reading this morning. Would you guys like some scriptural facts while we're waiting? Here's what I was reading this morning. 50% of Americans believe there's a God. Can you believe that? 50% believe that there is a God. That's pretty cool, right? Good numbers. Out of every two, one believes there's a God. Of those that live in America that attend church, 37% go more than once a year or twice a year. So outside of what the church's big holidays that are kind of celebrated on both sides would be Christmas and Easter, right? Some people don't celebrate Easter for Jesus. They celebrate the Easter bunny and eggs and all the things that come from pagan heritage. And then there's the part where we celebrate the rising of Jesus or rising from the dead. So there's these Easter conflicts, right? So when both sides, both the pagan side and the faith-based side, find themselves worshiping the same holiday, it's really important for us to pay attention to that. Christmas, same way. That being said, I don't even remember what I was talking about now. Golly, it's live, guys. This is shot before a live studio audience of one. Oh, I was going back. I was talking about statistics. That's right. Yet the most troubling one that it said 14% of children have no understanding of religion whatsoever. And children, I think he classified those as under 14. Under 14. Here's what it said. It said that none of them have ever heard of the name of Jesus. None of them have ever had anyone pray with them or pray for them. They have no one in their family that professes Christ. They don't know anything about it. 14% of children in the United States right now have never heard the name Jesus. So think about that when you're going into the public square and you see children. 14% of them have never even heard the name. Now then there's some that have heard, yet they were too young to really grab it. And that's how impressionable children are, that they've got to hear things many times. Like, how many times did you teach a child how to tie a shoe, right? You teach them over and over and over again, and you make them keep doing it, and you tell them until they capture the concept. Like, oh, I think I can do that. It takes time to build dexterity. It takes time to build wisdom, right? the muscle memory, on what the pattern is and how to do it with different types of laces. You know, this is going through it multiple times. So we have to understand that Scripture right now is vitally important to be sharing in our families and especially with our young children. Plant seeds inside of them that no one else can take, that no one else can take away. God, where are these guys? If you're watching this and you've made it to 15 minutes, maybe just fast forward until you see the plane land. Should I just hang on? Hey, Kurt, should I just hang on until this plane lands? You guys want me to just chill? You can just hang out with me. Going back to some of the mortgage data, here's what's cool. And I talked about this the other day. Hey, Carlos. I talked about this the other day, that 1 in 7 real estate contracts are dissolving right now at the closing table. This is a big deal. Not that contracts don't fail, they do, right? They do. What's unique about this one is they're not failing, they're failing at the closing table. 1 in 7 transactions in the month of August was canceled at the closing table. Here's what happens if you're at the closing table and you terminate the transaction. All right, I'll hang out. I feel like I hear one coming. I hear one coming. Okay, so we got a couple minutes, so I'll tell you this, and I'll maybe end on this and watch the plane come in. The closing table is when all final docs are done, you're recording the next day, or maybe you're a recording state, so once that signs, it's final. So all the checks have been done. You've gone through the real estate system, right? And it really is quite a funnel, and it takes a long time for people to begin to look at real estate with the just interest, to the idea of maybe this could work for us, to loving types of properties or homes that they're at. And they eventually contact a real estate agent, go through the process, purchase a home, and they get all the way up to the end and they see the interest and they see what their monthly payment is. And so much has changed in the last 6 months since they started this process. 6 months ago, the market was totally different. It's changed a lot in the last 6 months. And they're seeing it and they're cutting it off at the closing table. They're doing it at the closing table. This is a problem. 60,000 transactions ended in the month of August. I don't know if 100% of those were right at the closing table, like, no, I'm not purchasing this. Yet, that's what's happening. And if that happens, they lose their earnest money, and they're saying, okay, the 3 or 5 or 10 or 20,000, I think my phone might be heating up. I need to come up here. $20,000 that they have down on earnest money, they're willing to walk away from. It's better than getting caught in a contract, a contracting economy, an extremely high interest payment, a job that they're not sure about. Think about that. Think about that. Prepare yourself. Going back to what we said earlier, man, I hear planes. Okay, I think I see one. I think they're going to give us a show. Where would they be coming from? Would they be coming from that direction? I don't know. It's a beautiful day here right now. So there's other planes up in the sky, and we're right about when they said they were going to be landing. Let me see if you can see this airplane off in the distance. Let's see. Oh man, what did I do? Am I there? Can you see it? I'm not sure if that's them. That might be them. Hang on with me, guys. I'm not going to talk to them. They don't know that I'm here with a record. They don't even know that I have a channel. I just decided to do a great job. And, you know, these pilots put a lot of trust. It's just like putting trust in them to land the plane. They put a lot of trust in us. You know, as a real estate agent, they put a lot of trust in us to help them land this plane. This is a big decision for them too, and it can affect their future. So word of mouth is always good. If you're in sales, God, it's getting warm out today. It's supposed to rain. Where's all the clouds? Really, it was supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Okay, so I'll give you some aviation information before this plane lands. And I'm watching it to see if it's us. And I'm gonna set this down right here. I'm gonna watch and see if it's us. So aviation knowledge, okay. This is just what I've heard, all right? How many gallons of paint does it take to paint a 747? I'm not gonna make you guess because this would take way too long for all 10 of you on there. It's 500 gallons. That's what I've been told. There's a difference between aircraft that have tricycle landing gear, which would be like a typical jetliner would have tricycle landing gear, two sets of wheels in the rear and one on the nose. It's called tricycle. They're also called the tail draggers, which tail draggers are they coming in? Is that us? I can't tell. Tail draggers have two wheels under the wings and one on the tail. Let's see. Is that us? Nope. He said he was going to text me. They also, they're not on duty, so they don't have to be on time today. So who knows? Okay, and around airports, the safest place, if you were ever in an airplane and you had to cross over an airport, an active airport, the safest place to fly over an airport is right over the middle of it. So if you had to, I don't know, if you're flying over a SeaTac airport and you didn't know which way to go, you fly right over the middle of it because all the traffic goes out the ends, right? Okay, let me see, what else? I was married in an airplane hangar. My wife and I were married. I was telling Travis, the economic ninja, that we were married in an airplane hangar. And it was a museum. And it was the first wedding that they had hosted some years back. And this was a really unique museum. It'd been there for years. And they call it a living museum, which means the planes there still fly, or majority of them still fly. So they have big oil pans underneath them, and they're priceless relics from a generation past. For example, for those of you that know what a P-51 Mustang is, we were married in front of a P-51 Mustang. So this was called the Cadillac of the Sky. It was just beautiful. And I believe Howard Hughes came up with the design. And the Mustang was able to do battle against the Japanese Zero. And the Japanese Zero also, I believe, a Howard Hughes design, and he tried to sell that design to, okay, is this them? Look at this plane. Where's this plane? So the runway is running this way. Let's see if we can see him. I can't see. There's a reflection on my phone. Do you guys see him? I don't know if that's my guys or not. I don't think so. Yet he flew right over the center of the runway. So he was entering the traffic pattern potentially, or he was just crossing the airport, and that's how they do it. Was it McDonnell Douglas? Jason. The design, not the manufacturer, the design. Was it the design by Howard Hughes? Hey, if you guys haven't followed my buddy Jason live, oh, this may have jacked up my audio. If it jacked up my audio, sorry. I told you live until these guys land. And like pilots off duty, they're late. No one loves to be on time. Yet if you tell a pilot who likes following checks and balances and checklists, they know how to be on time when it matters. Yet when they don't have to be, they're late. Geez, I'm going to have to give these guys a hard time. You wonder why Southwest Airlines has a late problem. They both fly, I think, for Alaska. Jason, hey, about the P-51 way. No, I'm at the Kapowsin Airport in Pierce County, Washington right now. So if you guys desire to look up where it is, Kapowsin Airport. Okay, here they come. This is them. Let's see. They're coming in. They're doing a flyover. Let's see and he'll see me, and he'll wave his wings if you guys can see that airplane. If he waves his wings, can you see it? I don't know, I can't. I'm sorry guys, rookie. So he's entering the traffic right now. So he's gonna be flying around and they're gonna be pulling up right here. So I'm not sure which direction they're gonna land from. Did you see it, Kurt? Okay, good. He's coming around. He's just entering the traffic pattern right now and they're gonna be landing. Can I rotate my camera while we're doing this? Yeah, I can. Does this work? Oh, sweet. You know what's funny though, is that my screen, I think my battery's getting warm, so my screen is dimmed. So they're gonna be coming around. You can't see them, they're behind the trees. They're gonna be coming around here pretty quick, so we're gonna flip you around. I'm gonna let you see them. They're flying down. Let's see. Just thought I would take you guys along on a fun day. Sorry, my throat's a little scratchy. So they're just flying. So he just crossed over, and I'm not sure exactly how fast they'd be going. Here he comes. Here he comes. Now, this is a professional pilot. This is a tail dragger airplane. This is made by Cessna, and they refer to it as the 180. So this is a Moose. This is a really great bush plane. This one here, you can mod it out and do some really cool stuff. I wanted to show you him come in. There he is. A plane like that is probably worth $100,000. I'm gonna back up and let him do his run up, and I'll talk to you guys later. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. What a day. These are the days when we say we're thankful to be alive. I'll talk to you guys later.